Okay, let's just come to feet underneath your pelvis, toes facing forward. And just take a moment here, noticing where your body is holding any tension this morning. Maybe just a little shake out of your body, let go of any tension. And then grounding down through your feet and noticing how your abs just want to automatically start to work. So toes are facing forward, heels directly behind the toes. Let your ribs soften into your body. Let's take a nice big inhale up and exhale it out. One more time, big inhale up. Exhale it out. This time we're gonna just sweep the arms forward and hinge the hips back into your squat, up and squeeze the glutes. Hinging at the hips, come up and squeeze. So just pushing your bum backwards and find that activation. Waking up the back body, because it is a part of the equation here. A few more like that. Squeeze, drawing the abs in. Hold this one down and little pulses down. Reaching the fingertips forward for 5. And last one all the way up. Another big inhale up. Exhale, this time to dive over to the toes. Hanging out in your forward fold for a moment. And just bend and straighten the knees. And then we're going to begin to walk out to your plank position. Walking all the way out, finding your strong plank. So the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the abs up and in, and taking it to a downward dog. And stretch there. You can run the knees out there. Pressing both heels back, rolling yourself forward back to your plank. We're going to come onto our forearms, hanging out there for a moment, so the shoulders away from the ears, and just run the knees out. Little tiny bend and straighten the knee to wake up the abs. And we're going to hold there and then just lower yourself down to the mat. Fold the forearms together, glue the forehead to the forearms. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the abs up and in. And we're going to find the hip points and pubic bone pressing into the mat. Actually, first shake out your pelvis, let go of any tension there. And then settling that back into neutral, shoulders relax. We're going to float the right leg up off the mat and let it lower down and lift. And alternating sides. Drawing the abs up off of the mat. Waking up the glutes. Also pulling the belly into the spine. One more single leg. And then both legs are going to float up from the glutes and lower. So don't think about it that it has to be so high, because this is really about the glutes finding activation. Not compressing in your low back. Lift this one up and hold in little kicks. Firming at the top of the butt for 5. And last one, lowering that down. Gently press back to a child's pose. Bringing the forehead down to the mat, heel towards your buns, or your buns towards your heels. And take a breath there. Feel like your fingertips can lengthen a little bit further while your tailbone goes down a little bit more. Find that length through your spine. Breathing into your low back. And then you're going to roll up and back out onto your belly, all the way down, lengthening the arms out in front of you. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Let the legs be super long. Draw the abs up and in. Float the right arm and the left leg just a few inches up off the mat, and then lower. Other side. And down. So alternating single arm, single leg to start. And then if that feels good, we'll start to take it into our swim. So floating both arms and legs up and then swimming it out. Let her kick here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Everything relaxes. Again, gently pressing back to that child's pose. Take a breath there. And this time, let's walk the hands over to the right side, taking a stretch through the left side body. Really reaching those left fingertips as far forward as possible, keeping your tailbone pressing towards your heel, expanding the space between the ribs on the left side. One more breath there. And walk it back to center. And to the other side. Reaching those right fingertips a little further forward. Breathing into your right lung. Take one more breath there. And we'll bring it back to center. Reach the fingertips a little bit further forward and then roll yourself up onto your hands and knees with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your pelvis. Rounding into your cat stretch, pushing your belly button up to the sky, letting your head drop, your tail drop, and then head up, tail up for your cow. And into your cat. And into your cow. One more time, any little movement you might need to sort out your spine. And we'll come back into neutral, drawing the abs up and in, extending the right arm and the left leg out at the same time. Keeping the leg in line with the hip, arm reached right out from the shoulder and bring it back to center. Other side, lengthen. So you want to slide the shoulder blade away from the ear, make sure the thigh is tracking right out from the pelvis and back to center. Let's do a few more at your pace with your breath, alternating sides. You find a moment to let the body be long, and then you return right back to hands and knees and move right to the other side. Pulling the abs up and in. Let's take one more each way. Continue to magnetize your belly up into your spine, meeting with your right arm and left leg, and hold. Dropping the fingertips and the toes to the floor and straight back up. Drawing the abs up and in. Your abs are there to balance you. Slide your shoulder blade away from your ear. One more like that. Let's take the hand and leg, hold it up. Now round your spine for the knee and the elbow to touch under your belly and extend. Going in and extend. So you really pull the belly button up and in as you round the spine. One more time. Extend and then replace the hand and the knee back down. One time into your cat and into your cow. Reset back into your neutral and extend left arm, right leg. Holding there, and then fingers and toes tap the mat and lift. Tap down and lift. Belly is in. 2. Last one, lift and hold. Round your spine, knee and the elbow come to connect under your belly and lengthen. Breathe. One more. Extend and hold. And bring it back to center into your cat, into your cow, and back to center. Let's take one more time. We're going to take the right leg out to set up your plank, left leg back out to your plank. One more time into your downward dog. Take a breath. And then roll your spine back forward, knees down, and come to sit on your booty. Grabbing your ring, your band, whatever you would like to use, and come to sitting up tall on your sits bones. Roll the shoulder blades down the spine, draw the abs up and then actually let's keep the, do you guys all have a ring? Oh, Stan, you're okay. We're gonna keep the hands right in front of the body, close, so not out far. They start in, and then, so if you have a towel, you'll pull apart. If you're squeezing something, pull in, or press in, not pull in, press in. So widening the collarbone, sliding the shoulder blades away from the ears. Feel how you can sit with really good posture here. Drawing your abs up and in. And then keep it tight, press it forward, and draw it back in. And press forward. And drag it back in. Press it forward and hold, and little presses here. Or pull apart. So you have that little bend in the elbow, drawing the abs in. Relax the shoulders down. And then stay tall here, tuck the pelvis, keep squeezing, and then slowly start to roll your spine down. Vertebra by vertebra. Imprinting all the way down. Hands step over the shoulders. For a moment here, we're going to stay on our back and then just squeeze or pull apart. Just finding how, as you're laying down, you're activating through your mid and lower traps. So you can still keep it out of your neck, even when we're laying down. So that's the sensation we're still going to keep when we're doing other exercises. Holding it tight, and then lift the head, neck, and shoulders, pull the belly in, and roll yourself up, up, up. Reaching forward, and we'll roll back halfway. Tucking your tailbone underneath you, and we'll twist over to the right, keeping the pelvis still, and then return back to center. Keeping the legs so still as you twist over to left. And back center, go back one tiny inch, sliding your tailbone underneath you. Twist. And center. And twist. And center, one more time, back a tiny, tiny inch. Twist. And center, can you keep the collarbone open? Twist. And center, and all the way down. Inhale. And exhale, we'll come up and over to the toes. This time we're gonna get ready for a stretch. You take it up, 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 reaching forward and dive over and get around your feet for your stretch. And we'll hold around the right foot and roll down. Taking the right leg up to the sky. Just letting the leg get used to being up to start. And then start to situate your body, pushing that right sits bone forward, pressing the back of that left thigh down. You bend it, straighten the leg. And holding that leg up. And breathe. Each breath is going to help bring that leg back a little bit further. Take 2 more breaths there. And we'll release that, hugging it to the toes. Pulling the toes down, heel up. Into the calf stretch. So letting your leg release enough that it's not just sitting in the hamstring. Little point and flex. Holding the toes down, pushing the heel up. Continue one more breath into the calf. And back to the center of the foot, spiraling the thigh open and out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. Lengthening out to the inner thigh, push out through the heel. Breathe into it. Keep pushing the left hip down, finding a little more length for 2 more breaths in that inner thigh. Take that leg back up to straight and across the body, stretching through the side of the hip. Pushing the right hip away from you. Keeping the left or the right butt cheek planted down as that leg goes a little further over to the left. Let's take 1 more breath. And then we'll melt into a spinal twist, letting the leg fall across the body, looking in the opposite direction. On your next exhale, we'll straighten that leg all the way out. Shake it out. And then holding on to your ring or your band, let's roll up and over and up onto the left foot. And take that leg all the way up to the sky, imprinting that spine down. And breathe into that left hamstring. So as it feels good to be up, we'll start to push that left hip forward a little bit, anchor down through your right leg, and maybe start to bend and straighten that leg. And hold that leg up and just breathe into it. Let's take a few breaths here. Each breath is going to help go back a little bit further, not yanking on it, but just moving with your breath. On your next exhale, we'll release. And then take it to the tip of the toes for your calf stretch. Toes pull down, no pushes up. Stretching out the calf. And point and flex. And holding the toes down, push the heel up for another breath or two. And back to the center of the foot. And spiraling that leg open and out to the side for your inner thigh stretch. Pushing your right hip down, opening through that left inner thigh. Trying to find some length by pushing the heel away from you. Breathe into it. Take another breath. And then your exhale, we'll take that leg back up to the sky. Slightly across the body, stretch to the side of the hip. Keep pushing that hip down. And then into your spinal twist. Why Sharif can't ever remember that it's Pilates class, so you're in your spinal twist. And then lengthen that leg all the way back out. And shake everything out. Let's bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. Arch and input your spine a couple times, finding your neutral. So settling into neutral with that little bit of space underneath your back, not a lot. Soften the front ribs into the body and just notice how there is already activation through the abs. We'll take the hands up to the sky. Like we did when we were on our back, squeezing the ring or pulling the band apart. Find that energy in through your lats and your lower traps. Inhale, on your exhale, float head, neck, and shoulders up. Reach fingertips forward and see that your pelvis didn't have to move to do that. And lower back down. Inhale, exhale. Finding the upper abs for the activation to support the head, neck, and shoulders. Folding forward from the rib cage. Holding this one up. And little reaches forward and reach. For 5. And hold it forward, march the right leg up and place it down and left and down. Alternating sides, keep reaching the fingertips forward, smooth and controlled. So it's not a complicated exercise, but it allows you to really get deep into the transverse abdominis. One more time like that each way. And we'll lower everything back down. Reach the arms back for a little stretch and then return the arms by the sides. Staying in neutral, activating up out of your pelvic floor. We'll bring the right leg to table and then the left leg up to meet it. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and marching toes here. Tap the right toes forward and left and left and left. Softening the ribs into the body. Shoulders relaxed. Lift out of your pelvic floor. So can the shoulders stay relaxed as the leg moves forward? Can the pelvis stay still? Like the leg is detached from the body and it has nothing to do that would move the body. Although it's all working together, you want to feel like the rest stays stable as those legs are moving. Let's do 2 more each way. And we'll bring both legs up, give them a little hug. You could take the knees, stir them in the hip sockets. Some. And bring it back to center, bring the legs to table. Squeeze your inner thighs together, flex your feet, dip your heels just a few inches forward, and then drag them back up. So start it really small, with each one starting to go a little bit further. Can you start to soften the ribs also into the body? So my ribs never love to be in the right position. That's always my work in progress. So start to see, are you dropping your ribs down or are they popping up? Maybe it's hands go onto the rib cage to feel that. And then if it feels good, you can float the hands an inch up off the mat and we'll float head, neck, and shoulders up. And we're gonna take 5 more here. Dipping the heels maybe a little bit further forward. Sinking the abs in for 3. Hold this next one forward and then open the knees and close the knees. Open and close. The heels are staying together. You're just butterflying the legs open and close. For 3. Last one, bring the knees together, hug everything in and take a little relax with the head rock side to side. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat, arms by the sides. Tuck the pelvis and roll your hips up, vertebra by vertebra into a bridge, lifting the hips up high, opening through your hips, push the hips up a little bit higher. Feel your sits bones reaching towards your calves. Notice how your inner thighs have a little activation to help keep the legs parallel, and then imprint your spine vertebra by vertebra down into the mat. Rolling through your low back, where you have to really use your abs to press your low back in, and all the way back into neutral. Tuck the pelvis and roll all the way up. Collarbone wide and sequentially imprinting all the way down. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale, roll it up. And all the way down. Next one, let's stay at the top. Keeping it all the way up. Hug the thighs slightly, push the hips a little bit higher, and then tap your butt down, press up, squeeze. Tap down, press up, squeeze. Up and lift. So you get a hold at the top, not letting the legs fall open or fall in. The feet are pressing down, big toe mound, pinky toe. Squeeze. Hold this one up and press up, little tiny pulses up and lift, hold, lift, hold. So you get that micro hold at the top. Pushing your sits bones again towards your calves so you don't sink into your low back. Your abs are turned on, helping to support you here for 3, 2, last one, imprinting your spine all the way back down into the mat. All the way into neutral. We'll bring the legs to tabletop, hands up to the sky. Inhale on your exhale, press your hands towards your hips, extend your legs away at a high diagonal for hundreds. Prep. Pull the knees in, head down. Inhale, exhale. And lower. The next one is going to stay lifted for the hundreds. Inhale, exhale, lift, lengthen, hold. Glue the heels from the toes apart slightly and start to pump down to the hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So the legs can also be on table. They could be lower to the mat. They could be up closer to the sky. Where do you feel like your legs are in the best position? It's all about your breathing. Inhales. 3 more sets. Inhaling for 5. Big. Last set. Inhale. And we'll drag the legs back up to the sky. Hug the knees in. Let the head come down. Draw circles on the ceiling with your nose. And reverse it. And we'll bring the legs back down to bridge setup. Pressing the feet down into the mat, arms by your sides. Tuck your pelvis and roll your hips up back into your bridge position. Lifting the hips up a little bit higher. Sweep the hands up to the sky. Energize in between your hands if you're holding a really big object there. So you've got that energy there, and we're gonna lift the heels. You're balancing on your toes. Maybe you need to adjust your feet there. I needed to. Press the big toe mound down, press the pinky toe down, lift those heels straight up. Push the hips up a little bit higher, and now tap your butt down, press up, lift. Lower, press up, squeeze. Collarbone is really wide. Lift. If it's ever too much with the hands up, you would just put them back down. If the hands are up, they're right above the shoulders, and they've got that energy coming from your back, sliding your shoulder blades away from your ears. Hold the hips up high and small pulse up. Squeeze. Again, thinking, pull your pubic bone slightly towards your face. That's going to help just keep you in your neutral. Hug the thighs slightly together for 10. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it, drop your right heel down and then lift. Drop your left heel down and then lift. So everything else is staying so still. You're just dropping your heel. It's almost touching and going right back up. Your abs are working to support you, so you're not feeling it in your low back. So your abs are helping you here. You're going to feel this all in the back of your leg. A couple more here. And then we're going to be going right into single leg stretch. Last one each side. Both hips lift, sequentially imprinting your spine all the way back down into the mat. Into your neutral, bringing your right leg to table, left leg up to meet it. Floating head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the left leg long, frame the right knee with both hands. Inhale, exhale, we switch legs. We go switch. And switch the leg traps right out of the hip. Breathe. Belly jaws deep. You're activating up out of your pelvic floor to get those low abs firing, to connect in through the transverse abdominis. Take it a little faster. We're going to go 5. Breathe. 3. Keep folding forward from the rib cage. Last one. Back to center. Hug both knees in. Let everything relax. Into double leg stretch. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Reaching the fingertips towards the ankles. Inhale, extend arms and legs long. Exhale, circle, bring it to center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sweep it around. So working on staying in the neutral, moving the arms and legs to challenge stability. 3 more here. And then going right back into our bridge. 2. Last one. Circle everything around, bring it in. Relax it down. Bring the feet back down to your bridge position. Let's take arms to the sides, tuck your pelvis, roll your hips all the way up. Walk your feet out as wide as the mat. Digging heels down, toes up, and then if you would like, you take your hands up to the sky, wide through the collarbone. Firm up the glutes, tap your butt down, press up and lift. Lower up and squeeze. So staying very stable in the movement. It's a tap and lift, hold. Tap down and lift, hold. And then hold it up. We tap the knees in and open. In and open. After this set, we're going to do those 2 moves together for 5. If you're ever feeling it in your low back, you bring your hands down. And now the legs open, tap down, press up, squeeze the knees together. Open, tap down, lifts. Legs go in and open. Tap your butt down, press up, knees in and out, down, up, in, out. 5 more like that with lots of stability. So we're adding that movement to challenge the stability. So 1 more, go down, up, in and out, and hold the up and press up, up, little lifts. Push the sits bones forward, pull the pubic bone towards your face, collarbone is wide. Breathe for 5. And last one, drop the feet, walk the feet back to hip width apart, sequentially pressing your spine back down into the mat. Once you get to neutral, you bring the right leg to table, left leg up to meet it. Inhale, on your exhale, send the legs to the sky, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and lower the left leg out to your point of control for single straight leg stretch. Double pull with the right leg in, scissor pull. Inhale, exhale. So maybe the hands stay on the thighs, maybe they go up towards the ankle. Maybe the fingertips reach forward, or maybe you reach your arms behind your head. Where do you feel like you're getting it best this morning? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. For 3, 2. Last one, each way. Holding that right leg up, walking the hands up the leg to bring yourself up onto your sits bones. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, draw the abs in, catching the left hand on the outside of the right ankle, sweeping the right hand to the back, and rotate back to center. Twisting the rib cage around into those obliques. 1 more time. And bring it back to center, switching the legs. Wait, well, that's how I wanted to do it this morning. Walk all the way down and walk all the way up, catching the right hand to the outside of the left ankle, and then twist. You know, I missed the little extra challenge, but it's all right. We'll find it somewhere else. 1 more time. You bring it all the way back to center, both legs up, catching onto both ankles, sitting up tall. Draw the belly in, open leg rocker, legs as wide as the shoulders, rolling back to your shoulder blades. Come up and find your sits bones. Roll to your shoulder blades, use those abs as your break. 1 more time. Come up and balance and hold. Feet together, hands release, imprint your spine all the way back down, placing our draw the knees in for a moment, take a stretch, place the feet on the mat. We're coming into single leg bridging. So we'll bring the hands down by the sides, tuck the pelvis, roll your hips back up into your bridge position. Collarbone is wide, reach the fingertips a little further forward, push the hips up, wrap the ribs in, and we'll bring the right leg into tabletop. Hug the left thigh in slightly, lengthen the right leg up. Flex the foot to pull the leg down in line with the left thigh and point and lift. Flex and pull, point and lift. Keep pushing that right sits bone forward so the hip doesn't drop. For 3. Keep this leg all the way up to the sky and little presses up. For 5. And last one, place that foot on the floor, push the hips up high. Bring the left leg to table. Take the leg up to the sky, flex to pull down, point to lift. Pushing your left hip forward so you're not letting it drop. For 4. Finding that support from the right hamstring and glute. The next time it stays up to the sky in small lifts. Push that left hip up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Place that foot on the mat. Push the hips up a little bit higher and little lift to the hips. Press up, up. Both feet are grounded down. Pushing the big toe mound down. Tiny little pulse up, up. Right into the glutes for 5. And last one, imprinting your spine all the way down. Bring your legs, actually hug your knees in real quick, take a little bit of a stretch there. And then legs to table. Hands behind the head, elbows wide to the sides. Inhale on your exhale, float head, neck, and shoulders up, extend your legs up to the sky. Glue the heels from the toes apart slightly. Inhale to let your legs lengthen for double straight leg lower. Exhale, they lift. So maybe it starts slow and then they start to go a little further with each lower. Once they have, they're super secured. If it's too much on the neck, place your head on the floor and your arms alongside your body. For 4. From your low belly, pulling in. 2. 1 more. Bring it all the way back up. Lower your left leg out to your point of control. Twist to bring your left shoulder towards the right knee and twist to the other side. Bring a twist. So we're going to do crisscross with straight legs. Unless you want bent knees, and you're welcome to do that. Twist. Exhale as you twist. Keeping your pelvis still as you come up and over. Elbows wide to the sides. 3 more each way. There's 1. 2. Bring bottom rib to opposite hip. Last one. Then bring everything back to center. Hug everything in and relax it down. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee and pull back from behind the left thigh, stretching out the glutes. Let the tailbone be heavy, pushing the right hip away. Another breath there. And then we'll switch sides. Just take 2 more breaths, breathing into that left glute and hip. And release that. Lengthen the legs long on the mat. Reaching the hands up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, wrap the ribs in, float head, neck, and shoulders, press your thighs down as you roll yourself up, 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 reaching forward, and then let's grab our light weights. So whatever you want to use there. We'll come back to sitting up nice and tall. Firm the back of the thighs down. Roll the shoulder blades down, sending the arms forward. Tuck the pelvis and roll yourself down to the mat. Inhaling at the bottom, hands step over the shoulders. Exhale to push the weights up like you're pushing them to the ceiling. Keep pushing them up and over and out to the wall in front of you. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, reaching forward without collapsing on your lap, and then tuck the pelvis and imprint your spine back down. Do a few roll-ups here. Inhaling at the bottom, exhale, slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Think about creating that arc up and over, pulling your belly in, and you round your spine up, 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 reaching forward and scoop and rolling it all the way back down. And now we're gonna do one more full one. Going all the way up. Scoop and roll up all the way down. Inhale, exhale, peeling all the way up. And then we're gonna roll back halfway. So you reach forward, roll back halfway. Tuck the pelvis underneath you, flip the palms, bicep curls. So trying to stay evenly weighted into both sides of your body, keeping the legs long and just still. Slide your tailbone underneath you. Always having the option to do the arms seated. You don't have to do it rolled back if it doesn't feel great for your back today. 3 more. Last one, we're gonna fold it out. Turn the palms towards each other, single arm bend, and alternate. I'm gonna go switch and switch. pulling up out of your pelvic floor to help get deeper into your abs for 3, 2, last one each way. Now both arms out, sit up tall, send those arms backwards. Roll the shoulder blades down, palms face each other. Maybe bend in the knee to get your body a little further forward, and then little press in. Depending on where your hamstring flexibility is at this morning, widening the collarbone and just press in. Holding them in and press them up. Lift out of the pelvic floor. And then hold them up, micro bend the elbow and straighten. Tiny bend and press. So you don't have a ton of range of motion, but really focus on those triceps. Keeping them tight, a little bend and then press for 5. Last one, hold them, flip the palms to the sky and tap in. Little taps together. And then holding them in, just press them up. Breathe for 5. And last one, send the arms forward, roll back halfway, turn the palms towards each other, and hinging the arms open and hug around that big balloon. For 5 here. So try to descend from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist. Holding the next one open here, little tiny lifts. Lift out of your pelvic floor. And then flip the pinkies up and lift here. Lift. So the palms are facing back for 5, 4, 3, 2. And last one, send the arms back forward, take a dive forward and place your weights down. Sit up. You can take that stretch across. And then other side. Slide the shoulder away from the ear as you add that stretch. And then we'll come to lay on your right side. So lay all the way out. Let's lay all the way long with your head on your arm to start, long on your balance beam. Keeping the body straight, but if it is going into your low back, a micro little bend of the legs forward. Bringing the top hand as your kickstand to the mat, draw the abs in. Flexed feet, float the top leg up in line with your hip, bottom leg to join it, and then both legs go down. Lift, lift, lower. So goal is to stay so still here. Lift, lift, and lower. Bottom waistline is drawing up off of the mat. Breathe. Hold both legs up, point the toes. We're gonna lower the legs and lift. Lower and lift. Feeling the waistline drawing those legs up. And then lift and hold, and we scissor the legs. We go switch and switch. Super slow and controlled, dragging them back and forth while your hips are pinned into the mat. Abs are drawing in. And then bring it back to center, bring the legs 1 inch forward and then lower the legs down. You can keep your head where it's at, or you can prop your head up on your hand. Lift the top leg up in line with the hip, flex the foot, sweep the leg forward and point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward, point and sweep it back. The body stays still. The bottom toes can be turned out to give you a little bit of support there. So kind of like in a first position. You also could bend your bottom knee if that's going to allow you to really focus on this movement and the stability. Flexing forward this way. Two more. Last one, hold this one back and small presses back, press back. For 5. Last one, bring it back forwards, turn the thigh to the sky as we lift the leg up, flex and drag it down. And we lift and flex and drag. So with control, also just working on the mobility. Hold the leg to the sky. Spiral that thigh open even more and draw your circles to the sky. That inner thigh. And reverse it. So little tiny golf ball circles up to the sky. Shoulders are relaxed. 3, 2, and last one, flexing the foot. Push the heel to the sky and then allow your leg to drop forward in front of your hip and sweep it back up to the sky. And it comes forward and sweeping it right back up. Trying to not roll back and trying to keep your top hip away from your ribs without collapsing in your side body. This one's going to stay forward and then little tiny bend and straighten, and press, keeping the heel up in line with the hip for 5. Last one, sweeping that leg back, bending both knees for clam shells. Heels line up with your tailbone, pushing your top hip away, keeping the heels together, open the top knee, and close. Lift and lower. Can the ribs wrap in? The abs stay in. The top hip, push it away. So you're not letting this space get shorter. You want to keep your waistline long on both sides. 5 more here, really isolating that glute. You get the hold at the top, keeping that pelvis still. Hold this one up and small presses up, little lifts. For 5. And we add our rotation, knee to knee, toe to ankle. Internal rotation to external rotation. Step in and out. Really still in your pelvis, happening completely inside the hip socket. Keeping the knee down, turn the toe up and small pulses up. Little tiny lifts. For 5. And last one, lowering that leg all the way down. Maybe you punch that glute out a little bit. Bringing the knees to your side tabletop position where your knees are directly in front of your hips, ankles in line with the knees, lining up with the front edge of the mat. Pushing the top hip away, flex the feet, sweep the top leg open like you're opening a door and let it almost touch down. Smooth and controlled. You create that resistance. Lift and down. Push the top hip away. I know if I'm not aware of it on my body, my top hip wants to creep in. So I have to constantly be coaxing the hip out to keep the body even on both sides. On the next one, let's bring it down halfway and hold. And tiny stirs. Flex with that foot. Keep your ankle in line with your knee and little stir around. And reverse. Pulling the belly in. Push the top hip away for 4, 3, 2, and last one, lower that leg down. Punch that out, and we're gonna prop yourself up and just swivel over to the other side. Laying long to start out on your balance beam. Head all the way out on your arm. Grabbing the ribs in. Flex the feet, and we'll lift the top leg, lift the bottom leg to meet it, and they both go down. You go lift, lift, lower. Bottom waistline's drawing in. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Up and down. The next one's going to stay up. Point the toes, both legs lower, both legs lift. So remember, if you're feeling anything in your back, bring the legs a slight bit forward. You also have your kickstand hand to help. Lift and down, drawing the belly in. Trying to keep the bottom waistline up off of the mat as well. Holding this one up, point the toes, and we do our scissors. Scissor and switch. Imagining that you've been pinned in through the top hip, so the pelvis just stays still as you add that movement, drawing the abs in, let the shoulders relax away from the ears. And bring everything back to center. Bring the legs a little bit forward and lower everything down. Head stays down or props up. Lift the top leg in line with the hip. Flex to the foot as the leg sweeps forward. Point to the back. So your top leg is running in the track of the hip. Your bottom leg, if you want, the toes can turn out into first position to give you a little bit of support there. But try to keep from the hips to the head very still. The upper part of the body stays so quiet. Not letting the legs swing your body back and forth. And then we'll keep that top leg back and small presses back. Keep lengthening for 5. And bring it back to center, spiral the top leg up as we lengthen the leg up to the sky. Flex and pull it down. So we lift and lower. Keeping our hips open and mobile. Giving this side all you got because it's almost done. So really staying focused. The next one's going to stay up to the sky. Spiral the thigh open and we draw our circles. Draw full size circles to the sky. And then we reverse. Like finding that inner thigh. And we'll hold, flex the foot, and let the leg fall forward. And it sweeps up to the sky. You also could bend that bottom leg if that's going to help give you just a little more support to focus on really perfecting the movement. Trying to not let the knee fall down. Try to keeping it parallel to the floor. The knee tracking towards your face. This one's going to stay forward. And little tiny bend straight and press. This is definitely harder on this side for me. For 5, 4. And last one, sweeping it all the way to the back. Bending the knees to set up for your clam shells. Heels stay together and then open. And close, and open, and close. Wrapping the ribs in, squeeze. Again, think about creating that space in the top waistline. Shoulders relax away from the ears. And we hold the knee up and tiny pulses up, pushing the heels together as you add that little pulse up. And adding rotation knee to knee, toe to ankle, while the pelvis stays still. Chop. Internal rotation to external. Keeping the knee down, pulses the sky, pulse up. Pushing the toe up for 5, 4. And last one, bring it all the way down, bringing the knees forward, side tabletop, flex the feet, and sweep that top leg open and close. Can you keep your knee and your ankle in line? Continuing to keep that little bit of space in your lumbar curve and your top waistline long. 2. Last one, let it come down halfway, hold in your little circles. Pulling the abs in. And reverse. And last one, lowering that leg down, punching that leg out. We're gonna roll over onto our stomach just to set up for our final plank. So you can either meet us in our plank or we're gonna push up into our plank. Roll the toes under, draw the abs in. Neck is long, hands alongside your body. Tuck your elbows into your sides. Inhale, on your exhale, you're gonna just lift your body up, pressing it away from the floor, finding your strong plank, and then into your downward dog. And taking any movement your body is asking for. And when you're ready, pressing both heels back and then begin to gently walk your toes in the direction of your hands. And when you get there, just hang out there. And let everything just release. And take a breath there. Seeing that your feet are hip width apart, let's restack the spine to long and tall, pulling the abs in, softening the knees. So you can really allow your abs to do the work of lifting you all the way up. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, so standing up long and tall. Take a nice big inhale up. And exhale it out. Pilates Hotties, thank you for coming to class today.